We've all been told that finance is supposed to be about cold, hard, rational choices. But what if that's not even close to the full story? Today, we're going to dive into the really fascinating world of behavioral finance, which flips the script and asks a different question. What if we're not supposed to be rational? What if we're just normal?
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Think about the last big money decision you made. Was it driven by pure, spreadsheet-level logic? Or was there maybe something else going on in your head?
Okay, so let's get into it. This whole field is really built on a kind of showdown between two very different characters. On one side, you have the mythical, rational investor. And on the other, well, there's the person we all see in the mirror.
So, in one corner, you've got the rational investor from the old textbooks. Think of them as a human calculator, a robot whose only goal is to maximize wealth. No feelings, no drama, just the numbers. But then there's us, the normal person. We're a lot messier, right? We want to feel secure. We want to take care of our families. We care about our status. And we're basically swimming in a giant soup of emotions. Hope, fear, you name it.
And this gets us to a really crucial point. If we're not just emotionless robots trying to maximize our net worth, then what are we actually trying to do when we make these financial choices? What is it we really want?
Just take a look at this advertising slogan. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, a watch like this can cost a small fortune, way more than its ability to tell you it's lunchtime. So what are people really buying here?
They're buying a story. They're buying what we call expressive and emotional benefits. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you made a truly huge purchase that was 100% practical? That watch, the car you drive, the house you live in, they're all broadcasting something about you. They speak to your taste, your success, your desire to leave a legacy. They are statements, not just transactions.
And this is just one piece of a much, much bigger puzzle of what we humans want. We crave financial security, that simple freedom from worry. We are so aware of social status. I mean, just think about the feeling of boarding a plane in Group 1 versus Group 5. We want to nurture our families, often long after our kids are adults. And more, we want our money to reflect our values.
This anecdote from a financial advisor just hits the nail on the head. It shows that financial security isn't a number in a bank account. It's a feeling in your gut. This client had on paper more than enough money, but she didn't feel secure. And that deep, powerful fear, that was what was really in the driver's seat.
Okay, so if our wants are that complicated, how does our brain even begin to handle it all? Well, it takes shortcuts. Our brains are designed to be efficient, to make thousands of little judgments a day. But the problem is, when it comes to something as complex as finance, these mental shortcuts can lead us into making some pretty big mistakes.
Let's look at a real-world example. I want you to jump into a time machine with me and go back to the eve of the 2016 U.S. presidential election. The tension is incredibly high. And here's what J.P. Morgan, one of the biggest names on Wall Street, was predicting.
And they were not alone. Here's another major bank saying pretty much the exact same thing. The expert consensus was crystal clear. A Trump victory was going to be bad for the market.
Of course, we all know now that's the complete opposite of what happened. The market actually rallied. It went up. So what gives? How did so many incredibly smart people get it so wrong? And maybe more importantly, why does it feel so obvious in retrospect?
Well, that feeling is a little trick your brain plays on you called hindsight bias. It's this mental glitch where we look back on an event and think, oh yeah, of course that was going to happen. Our brain basically rewrites history to make it seem neat and predictable. We forget all the uncertainty we felt at the time and convince ourselves we knew it all along. All right, let's try another one of these mental shortcut tests. Take a quick look at this. The Dow went from 41 to over 9,000 in a little over a century. Now, what's your gut feeling? What do you think the total value was if you reinvested every single dividend along the way? Just take a guess.
Were you anywhere close? Almost nobody is. That number is just shocking because our brains are fundamentally terrible at understanding exponential growth. We see those initial numbers, 41 and 9,181, and our brain gets stuck on them. It anchors to them, and any adjustment we make from there is just way, way too small. It's another classic cognitive error.
Now, all of that was about errors in how we think. But there's a whole other category of mistakes that are driven not by our logic, but by how we feel.
Our emotions are just incredibly powerful drivers. Fear makes us hit the panic button and sell everything at the absolute worst time. Hope and maybe a little bit of greed convinces us to jump on a bandwagon right as it's about to go off a cliff. The sting of regret from a past loss can paralyze us, making us too scared to ever invest again. And pride, oh, pride, can make us sell a winning stock way too early just to get that feeling of locking in a win.
So here's the thing. Many of the financial strategies we hear about are actually just clever tools for managing our emotions. Take dollar-cost averaging, investing a fixed amount regularly. Yeah, it can reduce mathematical risk, but its real superpower is psychological. It's a system designed to save you from that gut-wrenching feeling of regret you'd have if you put all your money in the market right before a huge crash.
So, if we know our brains are flawed like this, what on earth do we do about it? How do we build a better financial future? Well, the answer isn't to become a robot. It's to become more self-aware.
And this leads to this really powerful idea of a behavioral portfolio. A traditional portfolio just tries to get the highest possible return for a certain amount of risk. A behavioral portfolio, though, is built around you. It's designed to satisfy your real-life wants and goals, and it takes your personal biases into account.
A really great way to picture this is as a pyramid. The base, the biggest part, is your foundation. This is the stuff designed to protect you from poverty, to make sure you always have food and a roof over your head. The middle layer is for satisfying your other big wants, like paying for college or traveling. And then, only at the very top, the smallest part, do you put the risky stuff, the prospects for riches that could pay off big, but that you can also afford to lose.
And this really brings us to the core takeaway of this whole explainer. Behavioral finance doesn't ask you to get rid of your emotions or to stop being human. The goal is simply to acknowledge that you are a normal person, understand your own specific emotional triggers and cognitive biases, and then build a financial plan that works with your nature, not against it.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We spend so much time and energy trying to predict the market, trying to find the next hot stock, to somehow know the future. But maybe, just maybe, the most valuable knowledge for your financial well-being isn't out there. Maybe it's in here. Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.